Hi there, my name is Hayden Lutek. I'm Head of External Relations here at LeasePlan, and today I'm joined by Berno Kleinherenbrink. He's our Chief Commercial Officer, who's here today to share some insights about our recently released Car Cost Index. So Berno, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, Hayden.
Of course. So Berno, first of all, maybe you can tell us a bit, what is the Car Cost Index and why is it so important for LeasePlan?
The Car Cost Index was inspired by the Big Mac Index, as it was created by the economists a long time ago. What we wanted to do is to make the cost of a car comparable country by country and to include all costs relevant to a car, including the taxes, including the different systems that exist in countries, to show the differences on various categories of cars per country. And we will use the Big Mac Index as the inspiration for that.
Can you maybe shed some light on what you think are the main findings this year?
The biggest finding that we have this year is that we actually see the cost of a full electric vehicle becoming much more attractive relative to the internal combustion engine. In some countries, it's more attractive to drive an electric car from a cost perspective than it is to drive a diesel or a petrol car.
What's making them cheaper? Like, why are the prices coming down?
First of all, the car itself, due to technological developments, it's cheaper to produce a car. The second is that more and more countries are taking the incentives seriously. So we see indeed tax incentives or subsidies. But thirdly, is what we now see happening is that if you look at particularly recently, cost of petrol, cost of diesel have gone up. If we take that all into the equation, it becomes much more attractive in some cases to go electric.
So it's great to see that EV prices are coming down. That's actually really exciting. But what still needs to be better? Where can things still improve, actually?
Well, first of all, you need infrastructure. If you can't charge, it's very difficult to drive an electric vehicle. So that's one of the things that we are lobbying for in those countries that still can improve on that part. The second is you want to have a certainty on tax incentives, subsidies, so that people actually take that little step towards electric vehicles. The third will take care of itself. OEMs will start producing cheaper cars. They will also start producing cars that have higher technical ability, and that's in particular range on the battery. And as a result of that, we're quite convinced that the advancement of electric vehicles will continue.
And where specifically can LeasePlan play a role in kind of pushing and accelerating the transition forward?
One of the things is to really show people what the real costs are. That's why we have the Car Cost Index that shows you what kind of alternatives that you have. What we're also doing is to make sure that we have an integrated offering towards our drivers that includes a charging at home facility, including easy payment for charging. And of course, we are continuing to lobby towards governments to also explain to them why it is so important that the infrastructure is there and why it is so important that we maintain at this point in time those tax incentives and subsidies.
Berno, thank you so much for taking the time to explain the Car Cost Index to us.
My pleasure.
For those watching, I'd also ask you to stay tuned because pretty soon we're going to release our updated sustainability strategy where we take an even closer look at ESG, which has never been more important than it is today. Until then, please head over to our website, download the Car Cost Index, leaseplan.com/corporate, see all the findings for yourself, and thanks so much for joining us.